Leena R. Prabhu, your life transformation strategist and super life navigator. This brings to the next episode of Mid Talks, which brings to you the best practices of people whom I feel have become master navigators and they know how to ride through the ups and downs of their lives skillfully to live their life successfully. Today with me is another special guest, Mr. Vivek Singh. Vivek, welcome.
Thank you, Leena. Thank you for having me on your show.
My pleasure. Vivek is a joint MD of Procam International. This is the company which has been a pioneer in bringing better health to India by way of introducing Mumbai Marathon to India. And what was the last count of people we had participating in Mumbai Marathon?
Yes, so Procam has been the pioneers of the running revolution in India. And Mumbai Marathon in 2004 was the catalyst that started this running revolution. Today, running is the fastest growing sporting activity in India. We had about 3 races, pretty much unheard of till 2004. Today, there are over 1,000 running events in India and almost 2 million people running actively.
Wow, that's wonderful.
It's been quite a revolution that has swept across the corners of this country.
Right. So, Vivek, we are going to talk about a different thing over here, not work-wise, but I want to know you as a person, as an individual. So, I'm sure there must have been a lot of angst and frustration in your life when you are bringing this project about. So, how do you handle frustration in life?
So, yes, there are frustrations in every aspect of life. In India, more so, it's a challenging country to work in, there is no question about that. And there are also personal frustrations and angst and stresses that build up. So one thing I learned quite early was do not manage stress. You know, we're all told stress management is important.
Okay.
I believe you should only manage things that you want in your life. You shouldn't have to manage things you don't want in your life.
Okay.
So I'm against this term stress management. I don't think there should be stress, and if there is, there should be a way of dealing with it out, but definitely not managing stress.
Okay.
So we don't want to manage stress in our lives. We want stress out of our lives, because when we are stress free, we can make decisions with a calm mind, we can be centered, and we are useful when we are stress free to everyone around us.
Right.
Not just the work environment, but the family and everybody we become more useful to.
Right. So, how do you manage? How do you get stress out of your life then?
So there are 2 or 3 things. One is a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of self-knowledge helps.
Okay.
So you realize things from a slightly larger perspective than when you're completely mired into situations. So a little bit of self-knowledge helps. A daily practice, what we call sadhana or self-effort, helps tremendously.
Okay.
So a daily practice, some self-knowledge and satsang, what we call, in good company.
Okay.
So I think these few things have the potential to make a dramatic effect on your overall well-being.
Okay.
And it has been so for me, and I have been incorporating spiritual practices into my life for the last more than 15 years now.
Okay.
And by the grace of the Guru, we have seen the transformation
Okay.
within ourselves.
Okay.
And the moment the transformation happens within, then you actually manifest the reality that you want to live in, and the reality that you actually think of.
Oh, wonderful. So this is a big lesson. Here's another master navigator who says look within and you will be able to master your life outside. So the other question I would like to ask Vivek is what do you mean when you say you have to know yourself? To get rid of stress from your life, what aspect of you do you have to know about yourself?
So we start, we take our senses within and start asking the question, who am I?
Okay.
Who am I?
Okay.
So I am the director of a company, I am a husband, I am a family man, that's all fine. Am I only that? Or are those the roles that we play in life, and I am someone or something that is more than that?
Okay.
So this question comes up from within us, from deep within us, who am I? I think that question is very precious, and that question leads you to do certain actions that leads to transformation. So when you say what is it, it's just basically starts from seeking. We are all seekers, right? So we seek what is the ultimate truth. We seek the truth, the answer to the question, who am I? We seek answers to question, where am I going, and all those things. So it's wonderful. A little bit of self-exploration leads to a completely new paradigm of thinking.
Right. So, somebody would argue like, who am I and what do I want from my life? So, it's a materialistic world, and some
Yes.
people would say, I want to be rich. I want to have so many houses in my name. I want
Yes.
to have a yacht.
Yes.
That is also a part of being who am I.
Yes.
So, then which part are you talking about?
We cannot define somebody's who am I. So when you write down your life purpose, and everybody should write down their life purpose, not only write down their life purpose, but also keep on continually revisiting it every several months and correcting it, because your life purpose may change every several months.
Okay.
So it could be exactly what you said. I want houses, I want cars, I want this, that, and that's fine. At least write it down. Know your life purpose. Ask the question, who am I? And whatever the answer is fine. Nobody has a right to judge that this one's answer is nobler than that one's answer. But write it down.
Okay.
Write down what your life purpose is. Keep visiting that life purpose every several months. Start asking the question, who am I? Am I the roles that I see myself in every day, or is it possible that I am more than that?
Okay.
And that itself gets you onto the path.
Right. So, you also mentioned a spiritual path.
Yes.
So, can you elaborate a bit on what you mean by spirituality?
So you see, we are so conscious of our physical hygiene. We are so conscious of maybe we do not give the same importance to our mental hygiene.
Okay.
Spirituality is a word that has many connotations in people's mind. But it's basically dealing with the spirit, which is your essence.
Okay.
There can be no denying spirituality. I'm surprised when I hear people say, I'm not spiritual. No, I can't be spiritual. It is something which is beyond my comprehension. You are a spirit at the end of the day. And when you discuss about the essence of your life, how can you say, I'm not that?
Right.
But that's fine. Everybody has their own way of putting things, and nobody's right or wrong. So what we say is that this process of spending some time with yourself, maybe meditating, doing some yoga, which actually has the goal of uniting. Many of us take yoga as an exercise form, which it is. But yoga's ultimate goal is not exercise, right? Or yoga's ultimate goal is yoga, union.
Okay.
So when you unite with the spirit through the use of certain asanas, that's the actual goal of yoga, in my opinion.
Right.
So you do some practices, whatever works for you. Those practices are important. Sometimes chanting works for somebody else. Pranayamas work for a lot of people. Yoga works for a lot of people. Meditation, breathing. So I do the Sudarshan Kriya every day.
Okay.
And that has been of great benefit to me. It has transformed my life
Okay.
in front of my very own eyes. And some regular spiritual practice is important to live your life fully. So my Guru puts it very succinctly when he says that everybody must meditate for at least 30 minutes a day.
Okay.
Everybody, unless you're very busy. So everybody must meditate for at least, unless you're very busy, in which case you need to meditate for an hour.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it shows, and if you actually think about that statement, it shows that if you want greater dynamism outside, you have to go deeper within.
Okay.
So the greater the pressure on you, the greater the responsibility on you, that much deeper you will have to go within.
Okay.
So if you're going to be very, very busy that day, you better meditate for an hour before you head out.
Okay.
And if you're going to be only reasonably busy, at least half an hour will do.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful thought process. It's a wonderful way of looking at things and realizing that when we say we don't have time to meditate, is the time when we need to meditate the most.
Right. Wonderful thought. So, Vivek, you have you are, according to me, you personify a successful person in your work life, in your personal life, family life. I feel you have achieved a good amount of success. People often ask me, what if, going through the spiritual path or finding out answers about who am I want money now. I want to earn money. So what path Leena is trying to take me down is not going to help me now. So how would you address this kind of a situation?
So we are not, when we talk of meditation, when we talk of spirituality, when we talk of certain regular practices, we are talking of being a more fulfilled or dynamic you. So if you want to earn more money and want more material success, fabulous. Nothing wrong with that. You will have to meditate,
Okay.
because you will have to have that dynamism from within to grow a business or to grow a practice or to grow whatever it may be. So I can't accept that fact that I need money and thus I will not meditate now and I will not follow any spiritual practices now, or I will not follow any or imbibe any spiritual knowledge now because I need money now. That is not compatible in my mind.
Okay.
In fact, the more you want to do, like we said a few minutes back, the more you want to do, the deeper you have to go within yourself.
Okay.
So people have this wrong sometimes impression that, oh, but I'm not stressed, I don't need to do any sadhana, I don't need to meditate. It's not about stress. It's about being a more dynamic, it's about your potential. If you want to realize your potential, then I believe that it is important to actually spend some time on knowing more about who you are and knowing more about what you are within you.
Okay. The younger generation especially does not believe in getting to know themselves. All they want to know is that they want to make money and they want to make it fast. So generally, I believe people who have crossed 30 or so, then they come to this spiritual path. So if we have to encourage the younger generation to get on the spiritual path, as you mentioned, or getting to know themselves, how would you encourage them to get on this path?
So two things I'm seeing. One, people are coming on this path earlier and faster and in larger numbers than they ever did.
Okay.
So let's give credit to the youth. I see more youthful people around. When I go to the ashram, the Art of Living International Center outside Bangalore, which I'm a devotee of His Holiness Sri Ravi Shankar, and when I go there, I see so many young people. I say, I wish I had started at their age.
Right.
They're going to have a tremendous leg up in life.
Okay.
So let us not, they are coming forward in large numbers than they ever did. But yes, there's also a large number of youth who are wanting instant gratification.
Yes.
And they're getting disappointed, they're getting dejected, they're getting different aspects when they don't get instant gratification. And yes, that is a concern as well.
Right.
That instant gratification seeking youth are going to have mental problems.
Right.
So both sides I think, but I think that barrier of I will only sit and meditate when I am post a certain age, I think that has gone.
Okay.
So you have a fair number of people who are youngsters. In my time, I would say there are many less people who would actually go into something connected to spirituality than there are today.
Okay.
There are thousands and thousands of youth actually going towards spirituality. But yes, there are thousands and thousands of youth who are seeking instant gratification and letting that absorb their mind.
Right.
And instant gratification is not the answer.
Right.
It's not the answer today, it's not going to be the answer tomorrow. Anything which is of substance and meaning will take time, effort and skill to absorb and build and receive and gain from.
Right. So I always feel that if there was a particular way to bring up children, if the parents knew that this is the way you bring up the children, then the stress and strain and trauma which we are experiencing now in all the population, whether it's the youth, the children to the adults, it would have been lesser. So according to you, what would have been the best practices for parents to incorporate within their children from an early age?
So I believe two, three things. One is this, a lot of people are waiting for their, when you're talking about spirituality, when you're talking about spiritual practices or meditation or pranayama or yoga or whatever, they say, "Nahi, the calling hasn't come. When the calling comes, I will go to it." And you talk to the parents and they say the calling hasn't come. So I would like to ask the same parents the question that when your son or your daughter comes and says, "Today I don't feel like the calling to brush my teeth," I mean, or "I don't feel like the calling today, mama, to study mathematics or geography. I don't feel the calling." I know most of the parents, their answer is going to be one tight wrap across. They say that, "Listen, here is my calling. You want a nice calling? I've got a wonderful calling at the back of my hand, and this is for brushing, and this is for maths, and this is for geography."
Right.
If we can be so firm and clear and centered about brushing your teeth or maths or geography, all important, why can't we be also firm and clear that incorporating certain spiritual practices in life is going to lead to a fuller life? Why are we waiting for a calling on that one?
Right.
Mental hygiene, spiritual practices are a part and parcel of your life.
Right.
So it's just a paradigm shift that it's happening, but maybe more of it can happen, whereby this waiting for a calling or waiting for some right age to do it or waiting for something can change to now.
Right.
You asked a question before this, Leena, that how do parents deal with kids? It's not easy and there is no one answer. But if the parents are centered, if the parents are meditators, if the parents are following some kind of a spiritual practice, how many ever minutes it could be in a day, I think their ability to handle their kids, to handle their outside environment dramatically increases.
Right.
So there may not be any answer how do you handle, but there is that the expansion that you feel or that you receive from within when you follow a spiritual practice helps you deal with the outside world much more effectively, much more skillfully, with much more dynamism.
Right. So, would you say after you have started your practice of knowing yourself and on your spiritual path, would you say that the connection, would you say that you have financially grown or you've become more successful and you would attribute it to knowing yourself and your spiritual path?
Yes, I'm leading a fuller life.
Okay.
And my life has my exercise, my workout. I enjoy the outdoors, I enjoy sports, so I play, I swim. My exercise, my spirituality, my business, my family life. Spirituality has helped me balance a lot of things without compromising, without making compromises. And it has, and the success that we enjoy today by the grace of the Guru in our business is also a manifestation of the centeredness that we feel within.
Wonderful. Right. So, the other thing I believe, Vivek, is that I can bring myself up to, I mean, gurus are elevated souls.
Yes.
They're all elevated souls, and they have that power, that energy that they can impart to their followers. I believe that I can also bring myself up to the level.
Sure.
May not be as elevated as them, but I can keep on trying and trying to elevate myself.
That's true.
So, you think that can be possible?
Definitely possible. A guru just helps. He is the light that helps to illuminate the path. Otherwise, the path can be quite, tricky at times because you're dealing with the mind. You're dealing as the subject is your mind many times in the year. So the path can be quite tricky. So a guru helps just illuminate the path, but of course it's a constant human effort to uplift the self and uplift and know more and do better for oneself and one's family and one's surroundings, of course.
Right, wonderful. So, is there any message you would like to give to my audience?
Ask the question, who am I? What am I? And it's worth spending some time in a day to actually look within. I think the benefits of that are tremendous and it's time well spent. And you have many such people. You have gurus, you have people like Leena doing such wonderful work in life transformation. So reach out, form a connect, meet people, and expand. You're here just for a few decades on this planet, and you know, the fuller life that the fuller the life that you can lead, the better it is, not just for yourself but for all those around you.
And it is possible, and Vivek has shown us the way. I hope this chat and this discussion has been enlightening for you, and please draw, because this is so many years of best practices. We've got the essence of Vivek Singh, and he's sharing this knowledge with you, his best practices and how he does things. So my audience is going to be benefited with
Thank
this
you.
talk.
Thank you so
so much
much.
for
you.
talking to me, and your enlightened and your insights.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.